Go. Field trip today. We're going on a field trip. I'm headed to a very fun, well, I don't even know what to call it. When I get together with this friend of mine, it's friends catching up, it's talking business, it's networking, it's shooting guns, it's all kinds of fun and business at the same time. Unfortunately, you're not coming along with me today because by the time I get this day done, there will be no time to edit this video. So you're gonna get to have fun with us tomorrow. And who do you think I'm going to visit? Leave it in the comments below. Tell me your guesses. Who am I off to visit? It is someone some of you know. But I can't leave you without a video for the day. So today I'm going to share with you a snippet of our latest podcast. Dan Arms from the Arms Family Homestead made $3,000 last year raising goats. I know, I'm the anti-goat guy, but I had to share this because Dan did it. He used goats, they worked well for him, and he made a bunch of money from them. Podcasts are a great way to learn more about homesteading while you drive. Maybe you're listening to the radio, but that's, you know, a bunch of lame stuff. So pop on a podcast, the Homesteady podcast. We have like 50 episodes and they're all like an hour long, so that's a lot of content there. The latest episode, let's listen to what Dan Arms, if you want to check out his channel, that's the Arms Family Homestead, go and check out Dan. Say hello from a Homesteady viewer. Make sure to say hello from a Homesteady viewer. And in the meantime, enjoy this snippet on how Dan made $3,000 last year with goats.
I'm pretty fortunate with most of the year. These goats cost me nothing through late winter as soon as it starts to green up, all through spring, summer, and into the fall. I don't really, they don't cost me much of anything.
Through all the growing season, the Kikos are able to feed themselves. And then Dan, who now owns a tractor and is able to do hay, well, he feeds them through the winter.
And then the years where we have our hay baled, then we're not buying hay. So in the wintertime, I do put a little bit of feed into them just to keep them going healthy and mineral.
The point is, Dan's expenses are super low.
So I don't have to put a lot into them, and that's why the goats worked better for me.
Now remember, one of the things Garrick bred these goats for was good reproduction. And that's where Dan makes his money.
A couple weeks ago, some goats I sold to one of my YouTube subscribers. I talked about in one of my videos I was interested in selling some goats, and he called and said, I'm super interested. I think he bought 14 goats that day.
Oh man, you gotta see this. You gotta see this. I love it. I want one. Where do I get one of those? Dan asks $100 per weaned goat and $200 for breeding age does. That means Dan has a herd of animals that cost him hardly anything, but are spitting out $100 kids.
So it's not like I sold super expensive goats, but I have very little into them cost-wise.
Yeah.
And that's why I like the Kikos versus the boars, because the boars were costing me more. They cost a little more to keep healthy, and they required more feed. They didn't live off the land as well. So with Kikos, I don't put as much into them. So some people that have a smaller property or just a few acres would probably have to feed more than I do.
Mm-hmm. Annual income gross, he predicted, is usually around $3,000.
This year alone, I've sold right at $3,000 worth of goats.
So Daniel kind of hacked the goats. He wound up finding animals that he didn't have to put a lot into, and meanwhile he could sell them. $100 per goat isn't the most money you'll ever spend on a goat, but it also isn't super cheap. But he found this goat where he didn't have to put money into it, but he got a lot of money out of it. I think it's a great idea if you're one of those people who wants to have goats. Now, remember, I am not a pro goater by any means, but they do have their place, and like on Daniel's homestead, that was a perfect opportunity to use goats for what he needed and make some money from them. So I'm not against ever owning goats, just, you know, it's got to be the right fit for you. They're not the right fit for me. If you want to hear the rest of that podcast, we actually interview the guy who made the Kiko Goat, the breeder behind the Kiko Goat. His name is Garrick Batten. He's from New Zealand. He's got a fantastic accent. It's a really nice episode to listen to, and you get to listen to the rest of Dan's interview and hear how he uses goats on his homestead to take care of all his needs. So go and check that episode out. You can download it on iTunes, you can download it on Stitcher if you don't have an iPhone, or you can download it on Google Play. I'll have links below for everywhere where you can download our podcast. And you know, next time you're like me, driving in the car and you don't want to listen to the dumb radio and you're getting bored of Pandora, well, pop on the podcast, enjoy the Homesteady podcast. Hey, look, there's a goat. There's 2 goats right there.